The reality you desire doesn't begin when circumstances change. It only begins when your new state becomes more familiar to you, more natural. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to our nervous system and Neville Goddard's lecture, where we explore the power of awareness book. This is one of the best books ever written by Neville Goddard, one of the best manifestation teachers ever that have walked on this planet. Today we will see his chapter 18. Be Ye Doers. It is a very important chapter, and let me explain why. This chapter talks about the difference between accumulating knowledge and actually embodying your desired state. So it's not what many people think. Many people think that this chapter explains that you have to force action, you have to do more in terms of manifesting more. It's not what Neville Goddard means in here. He simply means not rather means, but he just explains the difference between occupying a state and understanding it. And also he shows us the difference between visiting identity, that like desired identity, and becoming it. So as usual, if you want the entire chapter reading, here is the card on the screen. You can click there. Alright, so I'm very excited to check this one with you. So let's begin. Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass, and goes his way, and straightway forgets what manner of man he was. But whoso looks into the perfect law of liberty, and continue therein, he, being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. James. So again, he quotes the Bible here. He usually refers huge concepts to he refers that to the Bible. So the word in this quotation means idea, concept, or desire. Okay? You deceive yourself by hearing only when you expect your desire to be fulfilled through mere wishful thinking. Your desire is what you want to be, and looking at yourself in a glass is seeing yourself in an imagination as that person. Wow. I mean, what a perspective, right? Like, totally different understanding. So he literally explains that the word in here in the Bible meant an idea, a concept, desire, right? So in practical terms, many people, they love learning manifestation. They read plenty books, like plenty. They watch many videos, interviews, they gather information, they collect even techniques. But for them, nothing much changes. But why? Because understanding a state is not the same as identifying with it. Totally different thing. So knowledge alone doesn't reorganize your nervous system. Only experience does. And yes, I do link nervous system here. Why? Simply because we live in a 3D world. We live in a simulation, right? In this kind of reality, what we call reality, that is expressed through five senses, and only nervous systems, our nervous systems, they actually translate frequency, vibration into the senses for us to understand, like consciously or even unconsciously, right? So the key line here: a state changes your life only when it becomes more than information. Okay, so only then can you alter your nervous system in any way that you desire. Okay, I also like that he did explain that looking at yourself as if it's in a glass, right? I mean, this is a very interesting information because yeah, where is it? Yeah, this one here. So yes, so what I want to say that when he mentioned that, so he just told us that in a glass, meaning an imagination, that we imagine ourselves to be as whatever we desire. And then he also says important thing that people leave that mirror, meaning imagination, and forget who they are, meaning what you just seen in your imagination. So in a practical kind of example, you imagine, for example, abundance, right? You believe in that state. And after some time, when you exit the state on a normal day-to-day kind of living, right, your familiar feelings toward money, towards abundance, are totally different. So it pulls you right back into that. So you start checking your bank balance. You start kind of looking for ways to attract more from the state of lack. Okay, so do not repeat that. You understand? So nervous system naturally returns to what feels more familiar. Yes, so that return to the familiar, although it might be uncomfortable to you, still your nervous system is used to it because that old state still feels more like you, like what you learned yourself to be. It's not you. What you are, you make choice. What you are, you can do so. You can make a deliberate choice who you want to be. Or rather, I would say you remember who you are when you strip yourself from all those limitations and all those debris, all those distortions. So most people do not fail to imagine. They rather fail to remain identified with that, what they imagined. So, to continue the perfect law of liberty is to persist in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. You're not a forgetful hearer when you keep the feeling of your wish fulfilled constantly alive in your consciousness. This makes you a doer of the work, and you're blessed in your deed by the inevitable realization of your desire. Awesome. Right, really good. So Neville here says, to continue the perfect law of liberty is to persist in the assumption, right? But many people, they kind of misinterpret. They kind of think that they hear persistence and they think, so I need to force belief. I need to effort more. I need to kind of offer myself mental effort, repeat more affirmations all day long, like 24 hours a day. And persistence in Neville's term, like, it's not intensity. It's not. Persistence is returning to a desired state, returning effortlessly. Remember, you guys, effort only attracts distance. So you do not effort, you allow, you recognize a new state. So you return again, and you return gently and consistently. Okay, so persistence is not holding on tighter, it's returning more often. This is very, very important. So let's go here. Let's keep this one. This is a very nice paragraph. Having discovered within yourself the key to the treasure house, you should be like the good servant who, by wise use, multiplied by many times the talents entrusted to him. And the talent entrusted to you is the power to consciously determine your assumption. I love it. I mean, the way he writes it is beautifully. So in practical terms, what it means here, Neville is saying something really profound. Your greatest creative ability here, like in any desire that you want, is not effort. It's never effort. It's assumption. So from nervous system lens, every day your system practices something, but it's like whether consciously or unconsciously. So you're rehearsing either of worthiness or rejection or abundance or lack or confidence or struggle or ease. So something is being constantly reinforced. So the question is not whether you're practicing, but the question is what you're practicing constantly. What? It's not like if you're practicing. No, it's what exactly are you practicing? If you're observant enough, you will answer yourself directly and honestly. Okay? Because really, guys, this is not really punishment, what your nervous system is used to, like who you are, how your body reacts, like contraction every time you think of money or a love or something, right? Distancing, so or attracting or being open to it, being like wide open and welcoming, right? So it's really familiarity. So whatever you practice more often becomes your natural embodied state. So okay, this is very good to understand. I just want you guys to understand this. It's not about just changing one perspective with another. Understanding is one thing, practicing is totally different thing. Totally. Catch yourself. And with that, to be able for you to practice properly, you have to develop some degree of awareness. You have to be more mindful of what you're thinking about, not also self-surveilling yourself. I mean, we've all been there, who was really deep into these subjects, manifestation subjects, and self work, right? They would practice like constant self surveillance. It also is not good. It creates friction and kind of double mindedness. You do not want that. You just be more mindful, more aware, without turning that judge on. Okay, so I want you to understand states, repeated states, they like they are orchestrated, they're expressed through repetition. Okay, like any state. So whatever you feel yourself to be more comfortable with, not necessarily liking it, this is what is like what you know yourself to be. Okay, so let's go here. What you must strive after is being. In order to do it is necessary to be. At the end of yearning is to be. Easy, right? I mean, yeah, he puts those kind of very quick reference points and just states it clearly for us to understand. I love it. So this is actually the heart of this chapter. Okay, so Neville says what you must strive after is being, not getting, you guys, not forcing, not chasing, being. This is what it means. This is what he says. So manifestation is not becoming worthy of your desire. It's becoming identified with a version of you who already experiences that desire. Okay? I would say it's not more like a version, but like for wanting to find a better word, well, okay, whatever. Let's call it a version of yourself. Okay? So whatever you imagine yourself to be, this is what it is. You have to be identified with it. You have to become more familiar with it so that you exude it naturally as a part of you, as who you are. Because remember, you guys, manifestation is not something that you get, it's something you become. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he actually states exactly the same things. So the end of yearning, you guys, here is being. Okay, so as per Neville's terms, like in his language. Okay, so your concept of yourself can only be driven out of consciousness by another concept of yourself. Okay, by creating an ideal in your mind, you can identify yourself with it until you become one and the same with the ideal, thereby transform yourself into it. I actually wrote this paragraph on the piece of like a very thick paper, and I carry it with myself all the time. So I have access to it every single day, and I love it. It's like tattooed on my brain now. I love it very much. So yes, so I want to say that in practical terms, you do not remove an old identity, you rather outgrow it. Okay, you replace it, like in Neville's terms. So the nervous system lens, your nervous system does not respond well to empty space. Okay, it responds only to new like organization. This is what I would call it. To new orchestration. So a new self-concept gradually becomes stronger than the old one, and it only becomes stronger with repetition. And only that will your old state fade away, and the new self will become more familiar to you. Okay? So the one who is a doer is magnetic and therefore infinitely more creative than any who merely hear. Be among the doers. Love it. Okay, so a doer isn't someone forcing action, right? As we already understood. A doer is someone embodying a state effortlessly. Okay, a doer is, yeah, you collect your information because information is prerequisite of your practice overall, right? So then you become someone living from this state. Okay, then in the initial stages you will be just come back and forth, like, because you're changing your concept, you're changing who you know yourself to be. So your job in the initial stage is return to the desired state more often. And when it's imprinted within you, when it becomes more natural, you notice yourself doing certain things that are actually congruent and coherent with the desired state. It becomes more natural in your own expression. You do not contradict your desire. You understand? You do not. You do not do anything that's contradicting it. You're acting in alignment with it. You are it. So for tonight, I want you to ask yourself before going to bed. Okay, this is very important. Just do these kind of reflecting thoughts. Let it run on the background of your mind. What state have I been actually living from today? Or what state was I practicing today? Or am I living lately? So not what state you want, what state you notice yourself to be more often. And like what you're rehearsing. And then ask, when you understand what you've been rehearsing, what will be the version of me who would already have whatever I desire, like the thing, act, or what, not act, rather, do not ask about action now here. Ask what it would feel like, and feel what emotions, what feeling states are generating within you. You will feel it within your body. I want you to understand that this chapter, Ye Doers, is not telling us to learn more, to accumulate more knowledge. It's telling us to become more, okay? So, yes, assumptions do become states, states do become identities, and identities become eventually experiences that you see, that you witness in your world. So difference between a here and a doer is the difference between visiting a state and living from it. Okay, I hope you really liked it, and I hope you understood this chapter much more widely. Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, any stories, anything you want to discuss, put it down below in the comment section, and I will read it for sure, and I will answer you. And yeah, so you guys, again, manifestation is not accumulating knowledge and bombarding yourself with those affirmations, constant looping of the scenes. No, it's becoming more familiar with the state. You do not hypnotize yourself, you practice yourself, your new self. So have a great day, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one.